Hurry up, get it. Judges, may we begin, please?
Good morning, everyone. We welcome you to the English Extempore Speech Making Competition. I take this opportunity to welcome our esteemed judges, Ms. Manju Fulka and Ms. Amarjyoti Chawla. The rules of the competition are as follows. Each house will send one contestant from grade 9 and one from grade 10. The speeches will be minimum of 3 minutes and maximum 4 minutes. The speaker may speak for or against or about the topic. The speaker may take a humorous approach, a serious one, or a combination of both. No slang, foul language, or offensive words will be permitted. Time penalties will be imposed if speech goes beyond time limit or is under 3 minutes. Failure to comply with any of the above rules will lead to disqualification. The rubric for the same is as follows. Content of speech carries 30 marks. Expression and delivery carries 30 marks. Clarity of thought and structure of speech carries 20 marks. Overall oratory skill and impact of speech carries 20 marks, and it sums up to 100 marks. We now begin with class 10. I would We now begin with class 10. The first speaker is Reva Julka.
You say, if I had more, I should be very satisfied. You are mistaken. If you are not contented with what you have, you would not be satisfied even if it were doubled. Good morning to one and all present here. I, Revaraja Julka from class 10B, stand before you with my topic, Take Less, Be More. We live in a world that is driven by consumerism, where the message is always needing more and having enough. Everyone has their own take on this topic, be it in a mental, spiritual, emotional, or even in a physical way. Everybody pretty much agrees less is more. I had my birthday coming up. I asked my parents to take me for a shopping spree so that I could finalize my outfit. There were so many options and so many shops that I ended up buying pretty much a big pile of clothes. This got me into thinking that after our basic needs are met, do material possessions really bring us a sense of security? Have we stopped to consider that if we had something less, that it could turn out to give us something more? More in the sense of joy, commitment, fulfillment, happiness? This is not only applied to physical things, but mental and emotional capacity as well. You have to understand this from a spiritual point of view. Let's say you ate a bar of chocolate. You wanted more from your friend because you liked the taste of it and your stomach has more space for it. Similarly, when your soul has not found that inner peace, it is hungry and it needs more. When the satisfactions and needs have not been fulfilled, your mind craves for more each day. Generally speaking, we are limited. The more we burn up, the less we have. The more we store, retain, maintain, the more we will have. Delusion by greed is very powerful. We tend to hold on to seeking our materialistic possessions in life that we tend to forget to view things as a whole. It makes perfect sense in everyday life, and actually, this is in a sense of Karma Yoga, which says, preserve your rights of others by doing your duties and forgo your rights, because demanding your rights creates fights. This can be applied in all relationships as well. Doing our part and forgetting the expectations, establishing us, lasting in peace, and creates a loving environment, while vice versa, you can see many struggling situations, fallouts, and failed momentums. On the way back, all that came into my mind was how I couldn't find that perfect dress. I saw this child on the street with worn out clothes, and I was saddened. Had I been so self-absorbed that it made me rethink as to where I stand as a human being. Where does my happiness stand? I gave her all the brand new clothes I had picked out. The joy on her face, ah, the cutest thing I had ever seen. Hence, the moment you understand that your desires are actually the root cause of your suffering, it is better to let them go instead of clinging on. Thank you.
Thank you, Reva. The judges to please note that the speaker spoke for 4 minutes. We now have Rudransh Rajput.
Whatever will not be. You have a part to make it be. You have a part to play in what happens in your life. Don't leave it to chance. Good morning. Today I, Rudransh Rajput, will be speaking on the topic, whatever will be, will be. Now imagine this. You are swimming in a river and enjoying yourself, and a huge wave comes around and pushes you towards a boulder. It grabs you and hurls you towards a huge boulder. Now in this scenario, what would you do? Well, if you are a person who believes in the Creator and who believes that God will help you, then you would not do anything to help yourself. But if you are a person who believes in creating your own destiny, and if you believe in the idea of self-help, you would say, no, I can't lose so early. You would accept the situation and you would think of solutions. You would see the rocks ahead of you and with grace and ease push yourself away from the obstacles with your own fingertips. Life, I believe, has its own current. Some of our most well-thought plans, visions, goals, expectations are thwarted by unexpected boulders and rocks that get in the way every single time. And we cannot avoid this. Going with the flow is fine in the ideal river. But what about the river of life, which is filled with boulders and problems? The moment we start going with the flow, we collide into these boulders, and this creates frustration and stress in our lives. Live in the moment. Stop regretting the past and fearing the future. Today is all you have. These words in the book Ikigai still have a very huge impact on me. Why don't we spend today to forge the future? An example of this is this auditorium right here. As I see around me, I can see this auditorium lit up with light. Now, would this have been possible if the creator Edison believed in letting things take its own way? No, he believed in being the change he wanted to see in the world. He tried 10,000 times to create the perfect light bulb so that everyone in the world can have houses which are lit up with light. The people who say that whatever will be, are the same people who look both sides before they cross the road, ironically. Now, I do believe in looking both sides myself, so let us look at the other side of the topic. Well, when I was preparing for this very speech, the time constraint ensured that I didn't get time to think about the results. I was not worried about what the judges would think of me. I was only interested in giving my best performance. Even today, as I stand here, I can proudly say that I'm not worried about whether you agree with me or not. All I'm doing is giving my best. And this is what we need to do in life. We cannot be outcome-centric in life. I'm not worried about the result, and I'm sure this attitude has been adopted by many people in this auditorium. Even India's economy wouldn't have been the same if people didn't have this very attitude. Imagine if the Tatas or the Ambanis quit in the beginning because they were frustrated about not being able to achieve their expectations in the beginning. Would they have continued working, believing that God would have no choice but to reward them? No. They believed in going with the flow and being completely immersed to get the best experience. And this is what made them successful, something that only comes with the mentality of whatever will be, will be. On this note, I would like to conclude with a scene I saw in the movie Catch Me If You Can. Two mice fell into a bucket of cream. One mouse drowned and gave up. The other mouse worked so hard that he churned the cream into butter and walked out. Be the latter and not the former. Change your destiny. Take charge of your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Rudransh. The judges to please note that the speaker spoke for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. We now have Navika Singh as the third speaker.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Navika Singh, and my topic for today is It's a Wonderful World. In this speech, I will be detailing what this phrase means to me as an individual and its overall significance in society. What is the meaning of life? A simple question, but one that philosophers have been pondering over for aeons. But to me, the answer has always been clear as day: love. And not just love of the romantic kind, a more deeper meaning of the word. Did you know the ancient Greeks had 8 different words for love? They could not fathom being able to encompass this word with so many different meanings into one 4-letter word like we have so easily. Now, what is the relevance of love in my topic for today? There are so many things that in our lifetimes that we have been given that we need to be grateful for. Every moment is a gift to us, and we tend to ignore the beauty of life around us and focus on the negatives. This is, after all, a very human tendency, also known as negative bias in psychology. Life is full of these passionate, exciting, beautiful moments that we lack appreciation for. There are people, objects, experiences waiting for us to wake up and realize their importance and live them out fully. Whether it is smiling at a stranger on the street, or making a baby laugh, or any of the small gestures that encompass all the love and affection that human beings are predisposed to carry in their hearts. All of these moments are what make life worth living. Every Monday morning, even this morning for that matter, we sit here in this very auditorium and appreciate the abundance that we have been given. These 2 minutes should be taken out by each and every single one of us, at least once a day, to thank the universe for all the things that make us happy. If we all took a second to think and to contemplate our words and actions, the world would be so much better for it. And so would every single individual in it. Our happiness doesn't always have to come from others. Being happy with ourselves without the constant need for external validation is something that we all struggle with, and it is the essence of self-satisfaction. We hear from our elders constantly: live in the moment, be grateful for what you have, and nothing lasts forever. But we never really realize the truth of these statements. All good things must come to an end, and if we neglect to appreciate these fleeting moments of beautiful joy, it can have major negative impacts on how we see the world. We all experience the highs and lows of life, and sometimes it may feel like these lows never end. But the minute we come out of the mindset that everything, all the odds are stacked against us, and we realize that everything happens for a reason, we become better and happier individuals. Man is nothing without community, and it is necessary for us to support, respect, and cherish the people we surround ourselves with. The world wouldn't be so wonderful if not for the people who are actively trying to make our lives better without us even noticing. To conclude, I would like to quote Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. We live in a world that is full of beauty, charm, and adventure. There is no end to the adventures that we can have if only we seek them with our eyes open. Thank you.
Thank you, Navika. The judges to please note that the speaker spoke for 3 minutes and 50 seconds. We now have Soumya Verma as the fourth speaker.
Did you know that 93% of your life will be spent indoors? It seems a lot, right? Look at us here, stuck indoors with bright light, but not sunlight. I've been wondering, if we spend all of this time indoors, what is all of that that we are missing on? Good morning, everyone. Today I'm here to talk about my topic, things I can learn with nature, and to tell you the very real connection between humanity and nature. If only life came with an instruction manual, we could all turn to a specific page and find guidance on handling life issues like trials, success, failures. But unfortunately, that's not the case. We stumble many a lifetime trying to figure out this thing called life. If we slow down, we would see that there are many lessons in nature that provide us this guidance. We just have to have our eyes open and hearts there to feel it. Now, we all are familiar with trees, something that we look at daily. But do you know, as seasons change, we are guided to learn acceptance and non resistance from them. A green leaf doesn't resist to turn red in autumn. A tree doesn't resist its leaf from falling down in the winter months. They stand deeply rooted in the ground, with their vulnerability out in the open and branches spread wide open, surrendering to the universe. As if standing there and saying, "Do what you will do with me. I trust it is for my highest good." I've never seen two birds run into each other when they're flying in a flock. Why is that? They never do happen in any of the situation when they're not communicating with each other. Well, true communication doesn't always need words. Body language, sensing other people's energy and tone, can say much more than meager words can. At all timings, we're communicating through our thoughts and energy that we dispel. As if this is nature telling us, be mindful of your thoughts as the energy behind them can affect others and the world. Well, darkness is necessary to appreciate the light, a saying we all would have heard at least once in our lifetime. But have we actually experienced it ourselves? We can through the night sky. We need to experience the opposite of what we actually desire so that we can appreciate and experience the things we truly want. Animals who are prey don't overanalyze and plan in advance the ways they're going to oversmart their predator in the future. When the threat approaches, their fight or flight kicks in, and when the threat is gone, they go back to grazing without keeping a thought in their mind regarding the predator. Don't dwell in sphere of fear of the future and regret of the past when the threat doesn't exist. Here, the nature tells us that's the breeding ground of stress, anxiety, and regret. And with the flow of water, we actually feel how life changes with every step. A calm water, then a steady wave, and then a wide open ocean of opportunities where you have to deal with every problem. But that's again the way of doing it, and nature strengthens you to do it. We easily take this beautiful world and its many messages and lessons for granted. Don't wait for extraordinary moments to take your breath. Look to nature and take all the beauty into you and do all of the things that you can with all the guidance they provide. And every moment of your life can be cherished and be successful if you work according to all that the nature is providing to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Soumya. The judges to please note that the speaker spoke for 3 minutes and 50 seconds. We now begin with class 9th. We have Yuvraj Rana as the first speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, respected judges, teachers, and everyone present here. Today, I, Yuvraj Rana, will be giving a speech on the topic, I'd rather be a hammer than a nail. I've listened to this particular line in a 60s song, a song about freedom, a song which compared the lives of people who led by example and people who followed these leaders. It has been estimated that this song has been produced in different languages and has about 4,000 versions all around the world. This Peruvian song has been a part of Peru's cultural heritage since 2004, and it has also been considered as the second national anthem of Peru. This is all the little meaning and information that is there about the song. But while I was pondering about this particular line, I found out that it had various connotations. But my personal favorite was the concept of leaders and followers. To explain this and relate this to my topic, I would like to give an example. When we see a carpenter repair a piece of furniture or create a new piece of furniture, we see him use one hammer, but many nails. What does this signify? This signifies that in life, people who are built like a hammer are people who lead by example and who tend to bring a change in the world. But people who are built like nails are people who follow the commands given to them by their leaders. From this explanation, we can form a statement that a hammer uses one strategy to overcome all the problems, whereas a nail picks up one problem, and tries many strategies in order to solve that one particular problem. We've seen how hammers have been used in the past. They are a symbol of healing. But I think we have not laid enough focus on its dark side. We must remember that a hammer can be both a destroyer and creator of things. But if it depends on the person that possesses this power, if they want to lead as a destroyer or as a creator. This also explains that it isn't important for the person with the hammer to always become the leader. It's the person's mindset and the person's personality which decides if the person would become a successful leader or not. This also means that leaders This also means that the successful leaders are able to gather as many followers as possible and not only inspire them to follow them, but also inspire them to become leader themselves. We can also conclude that leaders not wait for things to happen, but leaders make things happen themselves. I would hereby like to conclude with a short quote. A true leader is a person who not only gathers followers, a true leader is a person who inspires his or her followers to become leader themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuvraj. The judges to please note that the speaker spoke for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. We now have Ajuni Kaur as the second speaker.
Good morning to one and all present here, esteemed judges and my dear friends and teachers. Today my topic for this extempore is things we can learn from children. So before I begin, I would like to ask you all, when was the last time you were called childish? Well, what has happened in this world is that we have made being immature synonymous with the term childish, and I don't think that is a right thing to do. We all know that exams are coming right now, and we are overburdened with the syllabus and piles of work that we have to memorize, and it's just stressful. And 2 days before the exam, we just want to leave it and be like, oh, can we please be free and go out to play? Or can we just be kids again, without worries, without stress, without complications? Now, what we try to find here is that missing piece of ourself that free spirit that was once alive within us as kids, that has slowly and gradually died down. Kids have a greater understanding of this world than we ever will. What our main motive should be here is to keep that little spark alive. The kids, they know how to dream. They know how to dream big. And they are not bound by limitations of what can, what will be. You tell them, they see a rainbow in the sky and they'll be like, oh my God, the painter has taken his paintbrush and taken strokes. They have that creative mindset. They have wonder and magic alive in everyday life. And now I would like to take an example of my grandmother. Sadly, she passed away 2 years ago. But what I remember about her the most is her bright and charismatic childlike nature. I remember very vividly at the dinner table at night, whenever we had finished our dinner, there was always dessert. And she loved dessert. The amount of happiness and that spark that you could see on her face when we said that there's ice cream, especially when there was butterscotch, she was just very excited. And she always said this thing, ice cream and you scream and we all scream for ice cream. And that made us so excited and brought joy and excitement for a little cup of ice cream. And what that teaches us is that that childlike charisma is what we have to maintain in life, because in the end, life is not materialistic. Life is not about logical thinking or analytical thinking or anything selfish or egoistic. It is about the small moments, the memories that we cherish forever. Give a child a toffee, and the amount of happiness you'll see on their face is mind-blowing. And we, on the other hand, as adults, would be like, oh, I just got a BMW. Oh, I just got a new Mercedes. However, I'm not happy. Well, ask the kids how to be happy, and they'll teach you. I was out in the break a few days back, and I found two kids running around, chasing each other. One of them pushed the other one, and the other one fell and started crying. And then I was like, uh-oh, what's going to happen? Next moment, the kid's up and running again, and he's chasing after the other one. So what that taught me is that how easily and how innocently kids can forget and forgive, unlike us adults who hold grudges and ruin relationships and bonds over small hurdles that we face. Even wars in the past, they have been based on egoistic and selfish needs. Why not see everyone? Why not see the world through the eyes of a child, the innocent eyes of a child, who has no hatred, who is not judgmental, who looks into the very soul of people and not into their outer appearance? Someone who doesn't judge anyone based on their outer appearance, their features, but what lies within. In the end, I would like to say, dream big like a child, because they don't dream about surviving or getting ahead. They dream about flying. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajuni. The judges to please note that the speaker spoke for 4 minutes and 10 seconds. We now have Gurjay Singh as the third speaker from grade 9.
Life is shattered into a million pieces which come together and form who we are, a human. Good morning to one and all present here. Today I, Gurjit Singh Sandhu, would like to draw your attention to my topic, things that make us. Humanity is one of the many aspects of life. Without humans, the earth would not be able to function properly, as humans possess many qualities like being creative, being compassionate, showing love. For example, if we take a hungry dog or a hungry person on the streets and we feed him, we give him food, then the amount of happiness we will get. This way we are not only being kind, but we are fulfilling the reason of being human, and we are still showing that humanity exists. What makes us us? Me, you, and everyone sitting here are humans. But the things that build us, the things without which we won't be able to survive, give us a leg to stand on. For example, we all have family and friends. They are motivation. They are the reason for which we keep going, without which we won't be able to survive. Our life is built on sand, but it is us who has to prevent it from going on with the flow. It is us who has to make a difference. Improvement. In life, we have nothing to prove, but everything to improve. There is always one room for improvement, and no one is flawless. We all were born with imperfections, but it is us who has to shape ourselves and turn our biggest weakness into our biggest strength. These imperfections are tasks given to us, which we have to complete and turn them into perfections. In order to improve, we need to do the job dedicatedly, with room for minimal flaws. Ambition. Starting from a childhood to adolescence and from adolescence to adulthood, we all have the desire to attain success, honor, and power. But in that process, we forget who we are. We forget that life is more than achieving success, and we do things for a selfish motive. We forget the moral values and principles of life. We stop caring about others, and at times we become selfish. Human nature. Rightly said by Dr. Seuss, why fit in when you were born to stand out? Every individual is unique in their own way. But one thing everyone has in common, that they want to fit in the society and don't want to get they don't want to they don't want to take a stand for themselves. Everyone wants to get in the rat race. They don't want to be extraordinary and stand out. Humanity is an ocean. If few drops of the ocean are dirty, it doesn't mean that the whole ocean is dirty. Many times in life, we come across two roads. It is up to us whether we choose the correct one or not. These roads will either lead to selfish gain or it will lead to collaborative gain. Humanity is the road which will help us to live life to the fullest, which will help us in staying happy and helping people side by side. This reminds me of the poem by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. This highlights the person having two roads in front of himself, which are both grassy and appealing. He wants to choose both the roads, but he just chooses one because he knows he has no other option. He thinks he can save the other one for later, but he knows there is no use of that. At the end, I would like to say, staying happy is the most important thing, and it will only be done if we stay true to ourselves and stay human. Thank you.
Thank you, Gurjay. The judges to please note that the speaker spoke for 3 minutes and 10 seconds. We now have Nikasha Luthra as the fourth speaker from grade 9.
As Roy T. Bennett once very rightly said, and I quote, be the reason someone smiles. Be the reason people believe in love and humanity. Good morning, everyone. Today, I, Nikasha Luthra of class 9D, stand here before you to put my thoughts about be the reason someone smiles. You know, at any given point in our lives, we can never imagine what the other person is going through. Some people have just come out of their dark closets. Maybe when we meet a person after a long time, we say things like, I can't recognize the person you're becoming. I can't, get your vibe. But we feel that the weightage of these words are very light, but the other person is going through an emotional baggage. These lines can easily make someone self-doubt every action they perform. They start to close themselves in their rooms and start to detach from the world. They start dividing the world into angels and demons. And therefore, they sit alone, so they have to interact with neither. You know, I've always been the type of person who likes to spread awareness, spread happiness. But I found that the message and the magnitude of my message was zero once I heard the story. That changed my life. The story goes like a man lives miles away from the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, and he walks those miles a day. Once he gets onto the bridge, he jumps, commits the unpredictable. After the police starts investigating this case, they found a little note on the nightstand of the man. The note said, I'm going to walk the bridge tonight, and if only one person smiles at me, I will not jump. No one smiled at that man. Led him to believing that he is alone, he is sad, and all these emotions led him to taking his own life. After hearing this story, every piece of my soul was just shattered. I couldn't help but think, what kind of a selfish world do we live in? I set some new goals for myself. except from materialism, my profession, and just thinking about myself, I wanted to radiate positivity in the hope that something might reach out to someone and impact them in the positive way. Even with the smallest efforts, I wanted to be the improvement in someone's life. Not to sound dramatic or unrealistic, but I want to be the beacon of life in someone's darkness. With my struggles, I want to tell them that with the right hard work and with the right attitude, anything is possible. But I am unable to do this without all of you sitting here. It doesn't take much to give someone a compliment, pass them a genuine smile, hold the door, give them a nice text message. What I do is tell a joke. But being the positive impact in someone's life is an opportunity we all should grasp. But please, promise me one thing. Never let another person be the man on the bridge. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikasha. This judges to please note that the speaker spoke for 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Thank you, Class 9. I now request Ms. Amarjyoti Chawla to please say a few words.
Honorable teachers and my dear students, it is really a lovely day, full of celebrations, full of knowledge and knowledge sharing. And for the last contestant, believe you me, we as Vivekites pledge that we'll never make anyone like the person on the bridge. We will make someone smile each day because what all we give multiplies in the universe and comes back to us, and multiplication is minimum by 10. So spread happiness, it will come back to you. And dear students sitting in this audi, I was just thinking about your teachers. Your teachers who really work like the birds which fly very high in the sky. Anyone sitting in the audi? Open question. Name the bird which flies very high in the sky. Yes. Someone out of there. Yes, please. Could you stand? Who answered? Yes. Eagles. Eagles fly very high. And that brought a deep thought in my mind. Your teachers are working like eagles, and I'll prove it here. Being a science teacher, I'll prove it here. You know, eagles, how do they make their babies fly high? They take the baby, the newborn baby, who spent a couple of days in this universe, they take the baby high in the sky, they leave the baby over there to fly, and then if the baby flies, it's fine. If the baby doesn't fly, they give the support with their own wings to the baby. This is what your teachers are giving. Maybe it's your exam, maybe it's MUN, maybe it is half yearly, maybe it is extempore. They take you up, they fill you with knowledge, they support you, they give you a push from there. And then if you fly comfortably, it's fine. If you fumble here and there, they come beneath, they support you with their wings. Hats off to all the teachers of Vivek High. 3 cheers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I salute all the participants. You made our day. Everything was well composed, well delivered, well thought of. You all are winners from our sides. It's very difficult to come here and speak and deliver. The topics were chosen very vigilantly. You thought on those topics very fluently, very thoroughly, and you delivered so well. God bless us all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. I would also like to call Manju ma'am to declare the results.
Good morning, everyone. You know, when I came, I told ma'am I have a very bad throat and don't make me speak today. But after hearing all the topics, I was dying to speak to all of you. It was like an extempore, event for me also when I was judging you. I just want to, I want to congratulate all the contestants. You did a great job, and I loved the topics. What I liked was I made little notes. So while the result is coming, you know, the first topic was dealing with the concept of less is more. So I'm just going to tell you, remember the wealthiest man is the person who needs the least. That should say it all. So I was busy making my own extempore based notes. The next topic was also very nice. Whatever will be, kesara sara. But remember, God helps those who help themselves. So I was just adding that line to that child who said, "Okay, don't leave it to God." But yes, there is a superpower, and God actually helps those who help themselves. So keep that in mind and work very hard. It's a wonderful world. Today, while driving to school, that song played in my car on repeat. So it's a wonderful song. If you haven't heard it, please go home today on Spotify or whatever you hear. Hear the song, It's a Wonderful World. It's like an anthem. And it truly is a wonderful world. And things I can learn from nature, I also wanted to add a little bit that there is, when we said there are no prescribed books, yes, in our Shastra we have the Bhagavad Gita. Every page will teach you what you need to learn on any topic of your life. Please remember, children, as of today, please get the Bhagavad Gita, keep it on your bedside. Whatever be your religion, it doesn't matter. It's a manual on how to live life, duty, clarity of thought at any stage of life on any topic. Believe me, please get it. You will do yourself uh, I don't know what to say. You'll do yourself a good service. So remember, the manual is available. You will learn. Grade 9, great job again. Again, a very favorite song of mine when I was growing up. I'd rather be a hammer than a nail. I think Simon and Garfunkel really made it famous. And it's all a song about being a doer. I'd rather be a forest than a street, meaning don't limit yourself. The world is out there, the world is your oyster. Be a doer. You will make a difference in every small way, like even just giving a smile to someone. We're still waiting for the results. I'll speak a little bit more. All right. And things we can learn from children. It's my favorite book in the library, which I keep telling all of you. Most of you just ignore me and don't bother to hear me. I always say all that we need to learn, we learned in kindergarten. It's a book which I feel you all should live by. And remember, the creative adult is the child who survived. So children represent truth, purity, and innocence. Don't ever lose that. You're 15, 16 years old today. 30 years from now, 40 years from now, you will become adults, grandparents. Just remember, be creative, be truthful, maintain the purity and innocence of yourself, and life is beautiful. We lose all this somewhere along the way of ambition. Another child just, I was invigilating an exam and said, no ma'am, only money matters in life. I said, money is only a way to represent security, safety, a means to an end, nothing more. So remember purity, innocence, truthfulness, they will carry you through. Are the results ready? All right, I get to speak a little bit more. Things that make us. I think nothing beyond insaniyat. Be human, good thoughts, kind words, good deeds. Wherever we are coming from, whichever household we are coming from, economic strata, whatever religion, nothing can beat this. Good thoughts, kind words, good deeds. We'll reach wherever we want to be. And the last, be the reason why someone smiles. That story had a little sad thought that that person was going to jump off because he was so alone. My message to you young adults is please value the gift of life itself. Whatever comes your way, your exams in आपकी age पे अभी this the only thing matters to you is marks, tuitions, a little bit of awareness of the opposite sex and whatever comes with it. Please, all that is part of life. But value the gift of life. Your parents have created you. Be grateful to them for the fact that they've given you life. And there is nothing above the fact that you're alive. You're just going to get 70, 80, 90 odd years on this planet and then we'll all be gone. So value your time and value the gift of life. And now for the results. Okay, so we start with the individual results. I'm going to start with class 10. At the third position is Navika from Nalanda House. Soumya at the second position from Taxila. And the first position, class 10, goes to Rudransh of Vikramshila. Class 9, the individual results. Again, there's a tie for the third position. All of you were so good. You know, believe me, when we were grading you with the marks also, it's barely 0.1, 0.2, 0.5. It's very difficult to give absolutely a difference in the grade. So at third position, shared by Ajuni and Gurjay. At second position, Yuvraj. And at first position, Nikasha. Okay. Now we go for the house results. At the fourth position, fourth is Nalanda. And third position, Taxila. Second position, Gandhara. And the first position, Vikramshila. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I take this opportunity to thank our judges for sparing their time this morning. Students to kindly wait for the judges to exit first before leaving.
I would request the students to stand up. Ninth class goes first.